As the surest thing in college football picking, I'm going to tell you which teams, plural, to bet against in the top 5, all while at Calexico in Brooklyn, because life is awesome. It's simple. We love college football, we love ridiculous food, so let's pick some huge games against the spread every week and eat until it hurts. It's easy call.
Week 10 is finally here, and we've got a good one ahead of us. Pac-12, SEC, and wait for it, ACC, an actual ACC game to talk about. Everything's happening. Let's start at the top with the top 5 matchup. Auburn traveling to Ole Miss, the Rebels 2.5-point favorites. When Ole Miss has the ball, the key, Dr. Bo getting poised after that less than ideal showing in Death Valley. He will have time though, because Auburn's defensive front has not been getting to the quarterback. They have struggled pass rushing, they have struggled tackling for loss. It's going to be a long day either way for that Auburn defense. I see good things for Ole Miss. When Auburn has the ball, X's and O's. What can Gus Malzahn and Rhett Lashley do with the ball against the fastest and most successful defensive speed that they're going to see all season long? Will they be able to get that secondary up? Will the secondary be able to tackle in space against a very, very talented Auburn offense? I think Ole Miss takes this, let's call it 20-17. I don't think it's as sloppy as they looked last week. They get by just enough with the 2.5-point spread to cover. Let's go with Ole Miss. All right, first trio of dishes coming in. Carne, asada, fries. What are we even talking about? Buffalo wings, Chipotle wings. The glisten is here, people. And nachos. Yeah, this episode's getting feisty. Look at all this cheese. My God, I'm excited. Next game, West Virginia at home hosting as 4.5-point dogs to TCU, a TCU team that dropped 80 dang points on Texas Tech last week. The key for TCU when they have the ball, quarterback play. Trevon Boykin, maybe the best, third, fourth best quarterback in the country, good enough to be a Heisman contender. He has been fantastic, but now he goes against a West Virginia secondary that's been, at least in the month of October, a top 30 pass defense. Have they played nobody? No, they played Baylor, and that's worked into that. So they have been doing a great job under Tony Gibson of keeping the ball in front of them. When West Virginia has the ball, it's going to be about their speed, getting it to Kevin White, Mario Alford. The running game has looked better and better with Wendell Smallwood getting more carries, Dre'Mius Smith. There's speed all over the field, and they're going to take advantage. And when Morgantown gets excited, they get excited. And they're going now against a TCU defense that's been fantastic, but they've been allowing some big plays. So I'm interested in the adjustments at halftime, Gary Patterson and his staff to keep that West Virginia speed in check, tackling in the open field, doing successful things. I'm gonna go TCU winning this game by a touchdown, but I think it's gonna be a great one. We'll call it 37-30. It's gonna be a fun one. Now, it's taco time. Taco time, so many different kinds. I'm putting 6 tacos in front of the camera. This is what we're talking about. Seared fish, pork belly, battered fish, pork. Oh my God, the carne asada and chicken. That's so many animals that are about to be food for me. Next game, Utah, Arizona State. Arizona State 4.5-point favorites at home against a Utes team that did just beat USC. The key for Arizona State when they have the ball, their offensive line has been dreadful. They need to get better because they've got a nasty Utah defensive front. I'll say that again, nasty. Nate Orchard and all of them are going to be in that backfield. How well does that offensive line deal with everything? And when Utah has the ball, Travis Wilson, quarterback, Utes. He's had an up and down season, health-wise, throwing the football-wise. How well can he play against this ASU secondary that has been very good? You couple that secondary with a very talented linebacking core. Could be a long night, but they do have Devontae Booker, and as long as that ASU secondary doesn't look into the backfield too much, I feel like they're going to have success against Utah coming off a string of tough games. But you know what? So is ASU. I do think Utah, I'm not going to say luck, I'm going to say extraordinary play will run out this week briefly. I like ASU about 27-13. They're looking more and more complete, especially if they can get even just average offensive line play and perhaps a healthy Taylor Kelly back there. Again, yeah, 27-13 feels right. Look at this. You've got a mushroom quesadilla. It's a rolled quesadilla. You've got sort of a truffly Mexican cheese in there, the grilled mushrooms. You've got the chipotle crack sauce. That's a fun thing to say out loud, chipotle crack sauce. Next, and honestly, we're gonna need to go quickly through these last two because I'm so hungry. I'm so hungry. Look at all this food. Florida State-Louisville, Thursday night. The Noles are 6.5-point favorites at Papa J in Louisville. The key when Florida State has the ball is how their offensive line looks. Talented, sure. Results haven't been there this season. They haven't been able to run the ball. Jameis has been under pressure all season long, and they're going against the Louisville defense that is excellent. If not, there's a case to be made, the best in the country. So good against the run, great pass defense. They are complete and nasty as well. And then when Louisville has the ball, it's a different story, but this is a Louisville team that's going to be healthier than they have been. Devontae Parker, Michael Dyer, Will Gardner, all should be playing as of now when I'm recording this, and they can be prolific against the Florida State defense that has struggled at times this season. I'm curious to see that that defensive front for Florida State against this Louisville offense, because the offensive line does let so much into the backfield. Here's where I'm going with this. I'm taking the points. Great defense at home on a Thursday night. I know Florida State's probably the most complete team in the country, but I think Louisville is good enough to win on a crazy note or to even lose close with that defense. I think Florida State ultimately wins. We'll call it 27-24, 24-21. I don't think it's going to be that high scoring. Maybe even like 21-17, but I think it's about a 3-4 point game. Florida State takes it. Next game, Oregon-Stanford. Stanford has been the thorn in Oregon's national championship hope side for years and years, well, like 2 years. Oregon does not really have a Stanford problem. Oregon, 11.5 point favorites here at home at Autzen. When Stanford has the ball, Kevin Hogan, how good can he be when he's had himself a rocky season? That Stanford offense, last week they looked good. Before that, they've been pretty average. Going against an Oregon defense whose key is going to be coaching. They've gotten better on third downs, but they're allowing way too many plays of 10 or more yards. Their tackling has been atrocious. They're not very good at tackle football, but when Oregon has the ball, completely different story. I'm curious with Oregon, their offensive line going against the X's and O's and coaching really of Stanford. Their offensive line is healthier and healthier. What can Stanford do on defense? They don't have Derek Mason, who's been so good against this Oregon offense. How good can they be sideline to sideline? I like Oregon by about 10. So I think I'm going to take those points. I'm going to say 27-17. Stanford's defense is that good. It could be even like 24-17, but I think Stanford loses closer than the experts think. But now, we are gonna go with a bit of a symphony because the food in front of me is majestic. Let's start with the wings. Chipotle wings. Ooh. Go with the hands. Probably meant to be with a fork. Better than they look, and they look ridiculous. The asada is actually got the brisket, so it's like a pulled. What are we talking about? The crunch integrity has remained. There's some guac in there. Yeah, use hands. No. The tacos. It's like a 6-team playoff right in front of me right now. That's really good. Battered fish, just a little bit of lime. I'm a professional, damn it. God, I'm disgusting. I'm disgusting human. That is fact that I'm laying out for you. The tanginess of the pickled onion. The pork is juicy as all get out. It's got the crack sauce in there. So, I'm full. No, I'm not. I'm gonna do so much work here.
Let the bass kick.
The picks are in. Ole Miss, TCU, ASU, Louisville, and Stanford. I'm still the surest thing. That is Calexico. Eat there. My sunglasses are going on, and now I'm speeding up my gait.